The two sessions that I watched were almost exactly what I imagined a counseling session to be. It seemed to me that at the bare bones of counseling, that the counselor's job and goal is to ask thought-deepening questions and also repeat what the client has been saying in the form of a statement rather than a question. Personally, I've never been to a therapy session, but from what I've seen in movies and other forms of media, it seems relatively accurate to what the media portrays. I acknowledge that it was a role play, but it still gave off a very real feeling of counseling session, as both of the counselors are able to help their client open up. I could tell that even though it was a mock counseling session, it seemed to me that the clients in the video were discussing real problems that they hold in real life. I also believe that both of the counselors started and ending their sessions very cleanly and smoothly, which according to Tryan's 1990 article is extremely important for clients to return to the next session and bring their satisfaction of that session higher. In regards to characteristics and theoretical orientation, I saw both counselors offered many skills to their respective clients. I saw that both of the counselors were relaxed with the client and showed active listening by nodding their heads, keeping open body language, and maintaining eye contact with their client. I also noticed that the counselors mostly responded with open-ended questions in order to get the client to go deeper in their own thoughts, and they also paraphrased what the client had just said in order to get them to continue on the topic, which are both excellent skills that Dyer's 1988 publication states that all professional counselors should have. Additionally, I also noticed that the counselors, primarily the second counselor, would summarize what the client said every couple of minutes to show the client that he is listening and also get the client to open up more on that topic. In regards to which of the two counselors would be a good fit for me, I would say that I would personally be all right with either of them being my counselor. However, I think I would lean more towards the second counselor, as he was more direct, which I liked, and displayed a larger variety of skills than the other counselor. I will concede to the point that the video of the second counselor was almost twice as long as the first counselor, but if I were able to see the second counselor more, I might change my mind. I appreciate the second counselor's direct approach as well as his use of challenging the client when they say something contradictory or use a specific word. Personally, I feel like that would be a good way for me to help process in a therapy session. Also, for the second counselor, I also like that he assigned her quote-unquote homework that she should work on until their next session next week. One question that I have about the techniques that were used are if techniques can be more harmful rather than helpful. So, for example, could a challenge be misinterpreted by a client as hostility rather than an attempt to get them into diving further into their emotions? As one could acknowledge that as not an eye-opening thing if they're not aware of the technique. Another question that I have for the counselors is why they didn't use some techniques that are considered in the book as more advanced, such as negotiating. I'm curious to know if a counseling session would be better by trying to get as many techniques into a counseling session or their sessions over a broader span of time, or if it would be better to stick to just a few of them that have been historically shown to work with that specific client.